This video is about how gut dysbiosis increases COVID severity. So this was just published recently in Medscape. You can see the date, February 4th, and you can see how do gut bacteria affect COVID-19 severity. Well, the easiest way to look at this is to think of it in the terms of actually toxicity, and it's a toxin produced by bacteria in the gut. So I'll show you how this works. And this toxin is it's called endotoxin. So if you have too much endotoxin, you can see the word endotoxemia. Emia means in the blood. So endotoxin excess in the blood. You can see in the circulating bacteriome, so this reflects the endotoxin that comes from the bacteria in your gut and also from unhealthy dentition, bad dental health. So you got gingivitis or periodontitis. The bacteria in the mouth will add to the endotoxemia. So you have a double dose. You get it from your mouth and from your gut. And this occurs anytime you eat a whole bunch of sugar, flour, and refined oil. So if you go get 700 calories of French fries or 3 or 4 donuts, 3 or 4 donuts will give you 750 to 200 to 1,000 calories. 1 hour later, you could be the healthiest person on earth, and you will have an increase in endotoxin measurable in circulation. That's pretty amazing. So when you think about this, you can think how absolutely insensitive and frankly moronic an article like this is from the New York Times. Don't worry about your extra pounds. Really? See, eating excess pizza, ice cream sandwiches, and God knows what else is in here, belly swells, and the gut bacteria change and move into a pro-inflammatory mode. So if you've watched any of my videos previously and you've watched the news, you know obese people are more likely to die. They're also much more likely to they're highly contagious compared to lean people. They stay contagious and infected about twice as long. So if you suffer for a week, if you're lean and healthy, the average person who's obese is going to be 2 weeks or longer, and they will be contagious. That means for an additional double the time that a lean person is. So this is another article that's published this year in 2020, so it was last year. Gut microbiome dysbiosis, endotoxemia, additional pathophysiologic explanation for COVID-19 severity in obesity. As I said previously, obese people pump out more endotoxin. If I didn't say it previously, now I'm saying it. Obese people pump out more endotoxin. Not a good deal at all. So what is endotoxin, right? If you had never seen it before or heard of it, here's a picture. Now, of course, this is not an actual picture. This is a picture that I had an artist draw for this book back in 2016. So you see LPS. LPS stands for lipopolysaccharide, which is this, and it is also called endotoxin. So this is what happens. So let's just say that you're lean, healthy, and fit, and you feel great. And even if you go eat 5 donuts, you're going to feel full, maybe a little bit gross, but you're probably not going to feel physically bad at all. But what will happen is that when your gut bacteria are exposed to all that sugar, the sugar, the flour, and the refined oils, it will cause the endotoxin in the outer membrane of these gram-negative bacteria to be released from the bacteria. And from there, they move, if this is your intestinal wall, they move into body circulation. And this is, so what was discovered was that lean, healthy people, they pig out about 900 calories of crap. An hour later, they have a measurable increase in circulating endotoxin. Now, obese people live in a chronic state of low-grade endotoxemia. So this is called small intestine bacterial overgrowth. This is what a normal small intestine should look like. So here's your colon, all right? Now, the small intestine is where digestion and absorption of nutrients take place. So you do not want a lot of these bacteria in the absorption area. So this is a representation of what overgrowth of bacteria is. Now, just because you're obese doesn't mean you have this amount of overgrowth, but you are in transition between normal and overgrowth. So if you live right in here, where you have an increase, but not massive, you will chronically release excess endotoxin and live in a low-grade endotoxic state. Now, the thing about this is that it adds to the inflammatory drive in the body. So the endotoxin will do it, the sugar itself will do it once in circulation, the omega-6 oils will do it, a lack of vitamin D will do it, a lack of polyphenols will do it. All the unhealthy things that you know about will add to the flame. And then another addition to the flame will be an overgrowth of bacteria and excess endotoxin. So which patients have endotoxin problems? Most people never even think about it. And again, all these pictures came from the Deflame Diet book, as does this. So this is in chapter, I forget what it is, maybe chapter 10 or 11, table 5. So you can see dietary endotoxin-related conditions and their medications. You can see how many references I pulled to create this table. So I'm not going to read all these, but just look. I'll just go through. We can see anxiety, depression, widespread pain, chronic fatigue, irritable bowel syndrome, migraine headache, interstitial cystitis called painful bladder syndrome, type 2 diabetes, atherosclerosis, hypertension, and just feeling like crap. You can see how many people are affected by these conditions, and here are all the medications that are taken. And these medications will never get at the problem. These medications will never reduce the endotoxin state, so they'll just reduce the symptoms induced by the pro-inflammatory state, which is caused by endotoxin and all the other inflammatory reactions that I've described in previous videos and then I've listed and outlined in this book. So just this table alone should give you some idea if you have these problems. You should be thinking, well, why don't antidepressants help me? They help a lot of people, but why are they not helping me? If it was me who was depressed, why aren't they helping me? And I wouldn't say, well, maybe I should just go and get St. John's wort and something natural. Depression is not caused by a lack of St. John's wort or these medications. So when we take these medications, if you don't respond and you end up and you have depression, well, there is no medication to kill endotoxin. You have to change the diet around to a degree that normalizes your inflammatory state, and then most people can be free of all these different conditions. So to learn more about this, obviously, I've got tons of books, and, well, if you've never seen any of my videos before, I have not tons. I've got 5 books. This is the first, 2016, and this was June 2020. So this would be the book to read to get all the information on diet-induced inflammation, including the endotoxemia issue. So they're all available at Amazon Prime. You've got Kindles for all of them. There's no Kindle for the immune health. There are hard copies for all the other 4 books. So these are single copies, and if you want to get volume discounts, you can get volumes of these books at dflame.com, where you can also, well, you're already here, you can also link to and follow on these social media sites.